Hello, excuse-moi.
Wait, what you want, sir?
I would like to rent a motorbike, is possible?
Hello, lovely. Can I have a bottle of water?
Ciao, bello. Mi scusi, I would like to order the large pasta.
Hallo, Entschuldigung. Ich will ein Pommes mit Mayo-Soße.
Hi everyone, my name is Amal Sharif Azwar and I'm the managing editor for Coconuts Bali. And today I'm so honored to be joined by Ketut Widiartawan, or I should call him Bli Ketut, who is a comedian based in Bali. I'm very happy that he's joining us today. Although perhaps some of you know him mostly as North Side Story on Instagram and Deep Fried Banana on TikTok. He is, if you ever seen one of those viral videos of this guy making accents or basically making a parody of the antics of people in Bali, including the foreigners, this is your guy. Okay, how are you, Bli Ketut?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much also for inviting us
Yes.
to this interview.
Yeah, we were so happy to have you. Just as a background, I've been approaching Bli Ketut for a while now. I'm so happy that we finally get to do this. So Bli, well, before we actually start with the question, can you just tell the audience maybe just a little bit about yourself and what are your current activities right now, apart from making all of us laugh on social media?
Okay. So yeah, my name is Widiartawan. That's my real name. So I grew up in Seminyak, but I currently live now in Canggu area. And then my daily activities is I go surfing. I also run a surf school in Seminyak. So that's actually my main small business I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the first question for Bli Ketut, can you tell us when was the first time that you come up with this idea of poking fun of the foreign nationals, especially in Bali? What was the trigger?
So I started, I think it was during the Corona time. So, that time I don't have that much activities and, especially the lockdown, it makes me oh man, I can't really surf and the business not running. So I'm okay, let's do something fun, and then, how when I make the video also, I analyze what's going on around me. And, because it's a lot of also that time where a lot of people have crashed on the motorbike because they were not using helmet and so many things going on in Canggu, how so different, so that's when I started to maybe I should make something not a joke but something funny, but at the same time it's also telling people that's not a good thing to do, driving without helmet. And also the way they behave, some of them, and it's not just only Westerners, but also locals, So that's why I don't want in my video it's about only bule or the foreigners in going to Bali, but I still want to make local as well, because, not every locals are also doing great things, not every bule is also coming here making problem, there's a lot of good and bad also. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Oh yeah, that is actually a very good point. That makes me wonder actually. So you did mention that it all began with the Corona, and you did mention earlier that your main activity is actually providing surfing lessons. I just wonder, let's say it's a different time. Let's say there are, I don't know, let's imagine there are no bules around, for example, and all of the bules are behaving correctly, for example. Do you think you will still do these funny videos? In other words, is comedy secretly has always been your passion?
Well, actually, you know, like before even Corona, also I was already doing like with my friend, you know, because I have a lot of different friends and from different countries, and you know that's how we always make a joke to each other, you know, like we always teasing each other with our own like accent, you know,
Right.
especially like my friend is like from Europe, so when they're speaking Indonesian to me with their, you know, still they have their strong accent, and that's why like yeah, from before already I was always making like a funny video, but that time my Instagram was private, so it was not public, so no one can see my videos, and yeah, after I put like yeah, when there was a Corona time, and then I was thinking like okay, maybe my girlfriend actually told me like, hey, maybe you should put it like public so people can see like maybe I don't know, just for fun. And then I put it on public, and after 1 week I just make like one video. I think was about like how bule in Bali, like with the accent, like they try to speak like Indonesian with their accent, and that's where it got really viral in Canggu. So a lot of people was like reposting that video, and that's how until now, like yeah.
Yeah, it's very amazing. Like one of the things that I think a lot of people are drawn into your video is because like your ability to do all of those accents. Can you just tell our readers and our viewers like where did you learn all of these accents? Like, did you take like a professional acting class, or like you just like you know, learning by hearing to what they say? Like, I think it's fascinating.
So, you know, like I said, I run a surf school, and, you know, I met a lot of different people from around the world every day, you know, and how I pick up the accent is from there. I just meet up with like people, foreigners coming here. I just listen, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I tried, you know, because when you listening to different people every day and almost the same people, like the same country, then you're easily picking up the accent, you know. So I never really like go to school for it, you know. I don't graduate from school, so I only do elementary school, and I was in a junior high school, but then I quit like after 6 months. I got expelled. So but yeah, with the accent, a lot of people also asking me, hey, where did you learn your accents? But actually, I never learn it. I just hear, and then I try it. But I'm also not a perfect at accent. You know, I know some little bit, but I'm not really like super good at it. You know, there's so many people outside who can do a lot better than me, of course, you know. Yeah.
I see. Oh yeah, I think still like I think it's impressive, and at the end of the day, like you make all of us laugh. So on the behalf of all of us, including myself, I just want to say thank you for making all of us just like laugh with your presence.
Yeah, I'm really happy that everyone is happy to, you know, from what I'm doing, it makes people also happy. I'm really like, how you say, I'm also really happy about it, you know, to make other people's happy, you know, like yeah. And also yes. I'm really thankful that the people who followed me also on the social media, they're really like not a fake, you know what I mean? They love me because how I am, who I am, you know, because I'm not really trying to overreact about something, you know, and I'm just doing it purely like how I see it. That's how, yeah. So I don't make things up because I want to be popular. No. Just because every time I make like a video or something, I analyze a bit what's going on, and I also use my experience, you know. The things that you may see sometime on the video, like about the bule days and the local days, this is actually like really happening in Bali.
Right.
And that's how, yeah. So it's not just like, okay, I want to do something like this and then just come up in my head. No, I actually pick up from the real things that happening in Bali.
Right.
Yeah.
That being said, like, do you have like maybe a group or like some close friends or like people that you like to discuss about your content before you make them, or you mostly just do your own personal observation, or like do you like to ask people as well, like, hey, for example, like, oh, I want to do this video, like, what do you think? Like, do you do that as well?
Yeah, like the ideas of course I have so many ideas for videos, right? For like what, like, but before I make the video, I also talk with my girlfriend because she lives with me. And, I have an idea. I told her, like, hey, what do you think if I make this kind of video? And it's like, oh, then she analyzed it also, like, okay, I think it's good. And then she helped me a little bit, like, okay, maybe you should do a little bit like in a fun way or not too much, because yeah, I have so many ideas in my head that are like, I can't, like, if I would put it, like, I don't want also people think like, hey, it's maybe too much, because like people like more funny. And for me, I like also funny, but at the same time, like I want to tell people like a message. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know how in Indonesia we have the netizen, it's crazy netizen, right?
Yes.
So yeah. So actually, like, that's why I learned from it. Like, okay, I have to make something that is not too over.
Right.
So that's why I asked my girlfriend what she thinks about it, and because she's also like, she's a European, she's a Westerner, so she's more open-minded about something, and she knows like what is good also, like what also, like a joke with a Western joke or European jokes with Indonesian joke. She kind of understand it, so that's why she helped me also. Yeah.
Where is she from, by the way, your girlfriend, if I may ask?
She's from Germany.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I think it's also interesting because we already mentioned earlier that you don't want this to be you don't want your content to just attacking like one community, right? Because like you said earlier,
yeah,
there are also bullets who are actually nice, and there are also locals who are problematic. But that being said, like, I think you noticed, like, especially recently, I would say in the past year, like, there are more and more foreign nationals like doing stuff that is actually quite disrespectful, and they got called out by the Indonesian netizens. And I think even this year, like, I think there are more and more people are getting frustrated with foreigners. In Bali, especially, like, I just want to know your opinion about the shift that's been happening in the past year, I think.
Yeah. I mean, like, since like after the corona, like, because I think there's tourists coming more, but then of course it's like some of the tourists that coming now is mostly are like, for example, like influencers,
Right.
There's a lot of influencers from like Russia, from other countries that coming to Bali. And of course, Bali is a beautiful place, who doesn't want to come here for holiday to enjoy this island. But the thing is that some of them are using Bali too much for their social media, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course it's good. Of course it's good for Bali, but the thing is that some of them are faking it too much.
Right.
Like, yeah, so they, how people follow social media these days are crazy. If people say like this in social media, this person will follow that, So, and of course, there's so many influencers coming here, and they only like focusing on, like, for example, like the beach club, the luxurious villa, and like only like a spot where like 1,000 people go there actually, for taking one pictures,
Right.
And so now it's like so many like influencers and influence other people to come to Bali, but to do those kind of things that they do, And now the thing is that also they think it's like, yeah, Indonesia is like, or Bali, like, it's a calm place and people like more friendly. So some of them are trying to take advantage of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like also, of course, I can't blame only Western European people or Russian people, of course, local people also the one who letting them to be like that.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and like, of course, now that some of the local getting the effect of it,
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they're now starting to think like, oh, they're doing this, doing that. But actually before that, they didn't get the effect from it. So they're just quiet about it. So there's some people, like, for example, like me, I run a small business where, and like, this is like a surfing, and of course I also feel upset because I paid also like tax to the Banjar, tax to the beach, and paid tax also like yearly. And I feel like, and when I open the surf school, it's not just like that, like click and then you already have everything,
Right.
So, and like, I feel like it's like, how you say it, like, I feel like, come on, like, I'm a local.
Right.
It was really hard for me to open a surf school like this because it's not so many like local surf school in Bali. I tell you this, it's not so much. It's like most of the surf school or like the business is owned by outsiders. Like, for example, there's so many surf school is run by European or Australian, for example, or Russian. So in Bali, that's like, I mean, of course, at the beach, there's so many different places you can rent surfboard or like you can take a lesson, but that's not an official surf school. You know what I mean?
Right. Recently, there was a Russian man who was arrested because he became a surf coach, if I'm not mistaken. And I think his excuse. Actually, I always forgot whether he was arrested or he was just interviewed by a local news. But his excuse was like, there are more and more Russians in the island, and they want to learn surfing, but they want to find a coach that can understand their language. Like, what do you think about some of this excuse that was being said?
Like, for example, right? Let's say like this: if I would go to Europe just for work, right? Not because I'm holiday, because I want to go to work there. So I would apply something that the government also there in Europe, they probably said like, okay, you can have the job, but like the job that people from here cannot do it. It's like, right. German people cannot do it. You're a specialist of something. Then that makes sense, because they just don't want like everyone to go to work. Like, for example, snowboard instructor. There's also local people somewhere in Europe can do it, so you don't need to be like people from like Indonesia who come there to become the, like a teacher or a surf or a snowboard teacher, And I think for me, that's like a really, I don't know, I think it's not for me, myself. This is a small local business. You know what I mean? This is not like of course, surfing is like a worldwide. People know surfing in almost like wherever there's a beach and the wave is always like good surfers everywhere. But like surf school like this is a small business for Bali, and like, it's funny for me why I don't agree with like what they think. Like, oh yeah, because there's so many Russian, like the Russian that comes to Bali, they should more, support local business. You know what I mean?
Right.
So in the end, if they would just say like, yeah, because they want to surf with Russian and the money is not going to come to the local, not come to Indonesia.
Right.
The money will go out again. So what, this is just an excuses. This is not actually like this. Before there was so many Russian illegal surf school that coming or a teacher. I had also a lot of Russian people who surf in my surf school. And no one is complaining and asking like, I want a surf instructor from Russia. No. Maybe they ask like, hey, is any of your instructor can speak Russian? I said, no, sorry, we don't. But they understand. Oh, it's no problem as long as we use also our body language,
right?
When we teach.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's like really they just use a lot of opportunities here because for us, of course, like the local before doesn't say that much because that doesn't affect them. But actually now, like, the more you give hand, the more they will take it, So now there's a lot of them getting the side effect from it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because a lot of it's like more like they're competing, not competing with their own people, but competing with outsiders,
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's a lot of people like, for example, like Russian, for example. Some of us, of course, we don't understand what they're saying because no one like really, they just, I think Indonesia is just open up for Russian tourism or something. Before that, we don't have that much. So we just have like, for example, like more Australian, they're speaking English, so people know what they're saying. But now a lot of people like they're offering in the website, they're offering in their own website with the Russian writing on it, with the Russian, So in the end, we kind of lose, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because they're like, oh, and especially when you're like, this is the thing in the world, right? I don't want to sound racist, right? But the thing is like this. So if a white person doing something, right? And then this said, oh, this is good thing. You should do this. So a lot of white person also would go there too. You know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, they trust it more because, oh, I don't know, maybe, I'm not saying that to be racist, but they're kind of like, oh, let's go there. They all go there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then because maybe the image of us before, we like to play around a bit. They see a lot of news about like, oh, local ripping off all the money changers, and all the locals are like dating white girls or dating a white man just to get money. So in the end, people are looking at us like, oh, we don't trust them 100%, And especially when Russian are like meet with Russian, I think that's when like, they trust more their people,
Right.
than us. Actually like that. So then of course, like, yeah, the business is like, it's getting worse now because
Right.
there's so many, the price is getting crazy also. The price is because of the real estate.
Yeah, it's
And
getting.
a lot of real estate.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the real estate is not run by local. It's run by like foreigners, And now, of course, it's like so many Russian that the one has money, they will afford that. So in the end, people just like, okay, like for example, price of the villa used to be like, I don't know how many million a month. They raise it, or like they put it triple the size, the price than before, And this is affecting like businesses in Bali, and now they think like, okay, a lot of Russians now who are like doing illegal here, and people are more like, okay, this is actually bad because they don't. The thing is like this, if they would be more friendly with us, I think people would be accepted a little bit more. But the thing is that they don't have any. So I'm not saying all of it, all of them. But of course, it's also really nice Russian people, But the one that's, I feel like these days they think that, okay, they have money,
Right.
so they think that they have money and I can do whatever I want, And the thing is, I think it's like that,
It is interesting, isn't it? Like, of course, like we don't want to put label on a certain community. In this case, Russians, for example. But it is interesting because like it's what everybody feels right now. At least most people feels like this. Like, don't you agree? Like that's the reason why right now it seems like everybody is all about calling out the Russians, but not just here, right? Like it's in Thailand as well, like not just in Bali actually. so okay, but moving on, like I just want to appreciate you as well because one of the videos that you made was a response toward a video by famous YouTuber called Naf Daily. He recently made a video, I think it was last month, he made a video called Is Bali the Whitest Island in Asia?
She is white.
Hi.
He is white. And they are white. This is the whitest village in all of Asia. Everywhere you go, there are white people.
Wait, I'm not white.
Anyway, why did they leave home to come live here in Asia? Well, because this is Bali. It's It's the island that captured the Western world's attention. And now I understand why. 1. The nature. It's stunning. Rice field after rice field. Everything around you is green. 2. The hospitality. Bali has some of the best hotels in the world with the best Indonesian hospitality. 3. The prices. Everything here is affordable to white tourists at least.
This is for $4.
And 4. The scooters. It's how everybody gets around. No subway system, no buses, just scooter in green, beautiful rice fields. No wonder why so many white and non-white people call this island their home.
That's on the Dead Sea tomorrow.
And a lot of people were so mad about that video, and then it became like a hot topic. And then you, mister, you decided to come up with your own video that's actually quite funny. So let's see.
She is white. He is black. Woo! And he is brown. Hi, I'm brown. Om Swastiastu. Welcome to Bali. Bali is multicultural and diverse island.
So the Nas Daily video was made a lot of people were so mad about that. Like I think Mbok Niluh Jelantik was so angry about that video. And actually but interestingly, not just locals, like even other expats on Instagram was actually really angry at Nas Daily about that. But Beli Ketut, you have a different approach on it. Like you just made another video that basically, what's the word? Like reject the theory of Bali's the whitest. Like, can you maybe elaborate on that?
So actually, I don't know him before. I don't follow influencers or like in social media. I don't follow that much news or anything like that. So the reason why that video I made because a lot of people DMing me and like tagging me on Instagram with his video, and that's when I see it like, oh, okay. I kind of see like the video, of course, I see it until the end. Of course, he actually wants to probably he wants to make like a advertising for Bali. You know what I mean? He wants people to come here and, but the thing is that I know now I learn it, how people actually, if you want to make people watch your video more or to get more viral, right? You kind of have to make like a video a bit conflict, not conflict, but something that people would, how you say it, like that would make people more like want to see it more. You know what I mean? And people are sharing it more because, yeah, I mean, of course, he wants to make a content about Bali, like introducing Bali, But the thing is that if you just make a boring video, like, oh, I'm in Bali, like eating coconut, like people, there's so many of them already. So this is how he make the video, so people talking about him. So he make a name in Indonesia or in Bali. So the media is like, oh, this Nas them. And then before that, I don't even know. Some of them people probably in Bali doesn't even know this Nas Daily is. I don't even know this guy until he came out with that. So he's actually like pretty smart.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would say he's pretty smart. Like he knows how to make his video to become huge, like blow up or like viral,
He knows how to create a conversation. Like he knows what kind of thing that makes people talk, that makes people want to talk about.
Yeah. Then now, for example, like he make a video like that, there's even more people who are more like, how you say, like people like starting to want to know him more, starting to like, Indonesian netizen, they're always like, even if they don't like the person, but they still like still follow the person, what he's doing and all that. You know what I mean?
I just wonder, like, have you ever got into trouble because of your parody or your impersonation? Like, maybe someone got angry at you because you impersonate like one nationality. Can you tell us a story?
Oh yeah, about I did one video where like local mom and local bule mom, and that time I was only one person who was trying to judge me from how I look, you know, and was saying about like my skin colors. He said about my skin color, saying about my tattoo. He thinks I'm a criminal.
Oh, no.
Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, you know.
Oh, Mom, I got sand in my eyes. It hurts. Uh-huh, girl. You got 99 problem, but the bitch ain't one. For sure. Oh, honey, don't worry about it, okay? It will be getting better soon. You want peanut butter jelly in your sandwich or milk? Oh, don't cry, baby. So what we're talking about? That bitch ain't nothing, okay?
Yeah, but for me, you know, it's no problem for me, you know, like that's how it is, and I don't want to how you say it, I don't want to make a problem or try to make a scene of it, you know. Of course, if people know you, I'm not famous, yeah, I'm not famous, I'm not viral, just now people know me a little bit at least, you know. So of course there's gonna be always this love and hate in everything, you know. There's not always gonna be people who's gonna support you with your video. Of course there's gonna be some people also gonna hate it, and this is not only me. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there as a comedian, as a influencers, as a content creators. This is probably like, yeah, but rather than that, no, I never had someone like because of me doing this. Maybe some of them just say like, oh, okay, you're not doing it really correctly, or you can do it much better than that. Of course, you know, because like I said, if you're doing an accent, you can't be 100% perfect. You know what I mean? And yeah,
Yes.
I think just that. No one really like until now still people like positive about my content, because I think for them it's just more like I'm more like naturally, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to over it when I make it. I'm just like making like also it's like something about knowledge too, not knowledge, like I kind of try to give a message to people, you know, with a joke, with like a video, like about like how if like for example, if I make a video about people driving on a motorbike, this is actually like, okay, it's funny for some people, but actually for me it's like kind of trying to give a news, or like trying to tell people this is not a good thing, you know what I mean? This is a dangerous, if you do like this, not using helmet, if you're driving with going around with a baby on your hand, and then, you know, all this is actually like it's a comedian, it's a fun how you say, a fun news.
I think right now, like Bali, I think more and more people realize that Bali has a big gentrification problem, because, like you said earlier, like the high prices and like more and more like foreign nationals versus locals. Like you know, there's a tension, and we like, and then like we haven't even discussed the fact that there are some rental bikes that, for example, are motorbike rental service. Like there are cases where they actually prefer to give the bikes to the bules, for example, because they have a bad experience with the locals, with the theft, for example. And that's another issue that we haven't even really talked about. But I think I just want to close this with my last question for Beli Ketut. Like, do you think you have a solution, or like just steps that all of us can take to address as a solution for the gentrification in Bali as a problem? Is there a way for us to have the solution without erasing the uniqueness of Bali? You know, like I mean, for me, for example, like I would love Bali to just stay a chill place for all of us because it is a beautiful island. It's a beautiful place for everybody to just feel accepted, and it's very tolerant. At the same time, there is a gentrification problem. Like, how do you think we can move forward from all of this?
Well, what I think, like, I don't know. There's, of course, so many people think differently, but for me, it's more like we as a local have to more aware of this, we have to show them more, like how the right way, because before that, the local don't really, as long as they make some money, they just like, yeah, whatever. Like, oh, I have a motorbike here, you can rent it. And then it doesn't matter what this guy do, he will just rent it to another guy. It's no problem. But I think in this kind of case, because we don't want to be like, because at the moment in the social media, it's all about this bule and local. They always kind of like talking shit about each other, like, oh, the bule like this, the bule like that. And then, oh, the local also like this, local like that. For me, I'm not in anyone's side, because like I said, not all the locals are perfect and not all the bullies are arrogant. It's always, you know what I mean? So I think to prevent like illegal work, like has to be like also the locals and the government should do something about it. They have to make rules, and I know this is like, it's so hard for me to say because I don't want to be in the problem with the, with the system, because sometimes like, how Indonesia, like if you have money, money can rule things, you know what I mean?
I agree, yes.
And this is not just me, but a lot of people understand this system at the moment. The government should more do purely and, do like, they make the rules, so they have to actually like follow the rules too, not break the rules. You know what I mean? Like maybe stop little, like with corruption, you cannot stop completely, but at least like something like this, for example, they should at least like for Bali, like they should not like getting money under the table or like something like that. This would easily bring Bali back. And tourists will come here as a tourist and then, like spending their money and help our economy, And then if it would be easy for them just like bribe or giving like pay to the government, then in the end, like everyone will do this. And in the end, it's going to be so hard for Bali to, we're going to have more problem if they would, it would be more problem if they would not do something correctly, like with the government system,
Thank you so much, Beli Ketut, again for your time. Maybe just the last one, like, do you have any message for people out there, for the foreign nationals, Bules or Indonesians, also Balinese? Like, do you have any last words or like message for all of us?
Well, for me, use a helmet, when you're driving on a motorbike. This is not only for locals, but also for bule too. And don't be arrogant on the street, because we are with a lot of people in the street. We have to also have responsibility for ourselves and for other people as well. And please, don't throw your trash everywhere. Keep our natures clean. So we don't have we have a beautiful beach, we have a beautiful natures in Indonesia. We have to take care of it, not by not throwing garbage everywhere. And I guess that's it, I think, for me.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Beli Ketut, once again. We look forward to see more of your videos. And again, thank you for making all of us laugh, and more importantly, like in a really fun way, you educate a lot of us, including myself, actually. So thank you so much for your time.
So yeah, thank you also for supporting my videos, and and thank you also for the interviews, and I hope see you guys around in Bali. Yeah,
Yes. Thank you.
thank you.
Coconuts TV.